Hey guys, what's up? I got a comment on my feed today. Thank you for bring this out to me, asking me to comment on the Golden Globe flu shot situation. I don't even watch the Golden Globes, so I didn't know what they were talking about, so I had to look it up. And I was like, oh my God, no, they didn't. They did not do this. So it wasn't so bad, but it actually made me really happy because it just makes me think that that's all they have, or it just proves that that's all they have, are shame tactics and ridicule, right? Because if the science was on their side, then why is the anti and ex-vaxxer movement growing, right? I read something not too long ago from the CDC saying more and more people are choosing not to vaccinate themselves or their children, and they're concerned. They're disturbed because more and more people are choosing not to vaccinate. Oh no, what to do? So this is all they have, right? If the science was on their side, why don't they blind me with their science? They could, but I didn't even get a cataract, okay? Because that's all they have. More and more people are choosing not to vaccinate because they're doing research or they're having personal experiences with getting harmed from the flu shot, okay? It does not protect you. It actually gives you the flu. I have not had the flu in 10 years because I've upped my vitamin D, C intake. I drink lots of water and I stay away from processed food. I exercise. Those are things that you need to do to keep your immune system in really good shape, and I have not had the flu in over a decade. Before that, when I would get the flu shot, I would get the flu every single time, and then they'd try and pull a Jedi mind trick on you and say, oh, you didn't really get the flu. I'm like, well, really? Because I really called in sick and I really had a temperature. I was really puking my guts out. So I was like, yeah, dude, I'm good after this. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna get the flu shot ever again. Dr. Oz he says he doesn't give his kids the flu shot. He probably doesn't take it himself either. He knows better. So is that guy that hosts, he was a football player. I don't know his name. His name's Michael something. He hosted Kelly Ripa from the Regis and Kelly show. He said he never got the flu shot, and he noticed all his colleagues, all the other football players that would get it, they would always get sick. And he never got it, and he never got sick. It's like, duh, it's common sense, okay? Oh, look, I bet you there are more people that watched this video than watched the Golden Globes last night.
I just retired from a local hospital here. No one believes in the flu shots. My colleagues, I didn't. Because the efficacy, and I won't give you data, you created the data, 10% 1 year, 18% the next, 40% at best. The flu mist you gave to our children from 2 to 8 years for almost 4 years, it never worked, 3%. Oh, well, I worked in a hospital where my colleagues, doctors and nurses and medical assistants and patient care and lab, we didn't believe in the flu shot. We were probably at 40%. And then came your mandates. And then came your recommendations. So you know what? For 4 years before I retired, I put a mask on, 12-hour shifts. It wasn't easy to breathe, but that's how much I didn't believe in your efficacy. My colleagues didn't believe in it either, but some of them couldn't wear that mask for 12 hours. So in the beginning, they said, I'm just getting the shot. I can't wear the mask. But in the truth, the public's truth, my observation, which is the first step in scientific theory, they didn't believe in your shot. This year, I retired. I'm grateful for that because my soul was sick at what I saw go on. That flu shot was crazy. At first, it was 10%. How can you do data? Which 10 got the shot out of 100? Then it was 30. And then you get up here today and make new implications on our children and combine 4. Really? You govern globally and this country. I'm glad I'm retired now because now I can talk to you. Because you know what? While I worked, I couldn't. Because if I did, conflict of interest, I would have lost my job. That's truth. A lot of my colleagues did lose their jobs. I was one of the few hospitals in this city that allowed us to mask. I can name 5 hospitals that don't. Goodbye, pink slip, no flu shot. How did I survive 20 years and never get the flu in that environment? ER, high volume. Was I not on the front lines? Every flu case, 300 people a day. Every flu case, it was me. I never had the flu. You know why? I knew how to wash my hands. I knew how to take vitamin D. I knew how to take elderberry syrup. I don't approve of your flu shot. Now you have pharmacists giving it. You bribe us with cards at Target and you tell us this is free and it's everywhere and get it. They're scare tactics and you should be ashamed. And then I will end because I do want my colleagues, my the other moms that know what the CDC doesn't do for us. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., he fights for us. He does. He goes to court for us, for our kids that suffered. I'm looking around. Some of you are my age. And if I'm mistaken, I apologize. But I'm in a generation where I got 7 shots. 26 years later, my daughter got 10. Her son got probably 60. My new grandson's expected to get 72, and I just watched you add more. I'm appalled. Robert Kennedy Jr., you know what he says? His family started Special Olympics. There were no autistic kids. He says that where the 40-year-olds wearing diapers with helmets on at the mall, if you misdiagnose them, if you miss them, because you say they're not vaccines, that they missed them. Where were the special ed classes when people with my generation, there weren't any, because they didn't exist? That's what he says. Do you know, and it's truth, but you know what's going to happen? I have a 10-year-old grandson, and I don't care what you say, that the autism and vaccines don't exist. It does, because I watched a perfectly healthy, beautiful 2-year-old get those shots and become a severe autistic child. And guess what? He will be 40, walking in the mall with a diaper on and a helmet. Thank you for the studies that you don't do.
Look, oh my God, look at all the transverse myelitis and the Guillain-Barré and the death and the Sherva and from the flu shot. How fun, how exciting, how funny, how funny. Oh, ha, ha, ha. You know, they have to make the batch years ahead of time, and they have to guess. Okay, this is not even an objective test. It's like psychic, okay, like psychic friends. They guess the strain of the flu, and then they make the batch. And for the last 2 years at least, maybe even further back, it wasn't effective according to their message, because it didn't even match the strain that was circulating in the population. So more and more people are starting to figure this out. They're trying to push it on people. This is actually great. Actually, I'm gonna put #winning in this video, because I really think this is a victory, because they feel like they have to push it, and all they have is shame and ridicule. Well, you know, they don't have science. I saw something on a SciShow, that propagandist you know, YouTube channel for teenagers, and he was basically saying that people just need to shut up and not think about it and vaccinate, and that parents are 8 times more likely or less likely to vaccinate their kids if they do the research first. So just shut up and do it.
A 2011 study showed that parents who think about vaccines before their child is born are 8 times less likely to vaccinate their children.
So, you know, if they do the research, if they look into it, why are they 8 times less likely? You know, why don't they want parents talking to each other? Why do they censor videos that are talking about, you know, vaccines and flu shots and stuff? Maybe because the information can't win. They don't have the science, right? It's against them. So just think about this as a victory. It was kind of funny because nobody wanted it. They were like, no! They weren't like, yay, flu shots. They were like, oh, like everybody had these awkward looks on their faces. That was actually pretty funny. But anyway, that's my commentary on that, you guys. That's all I want to say. All right, guys. Peace, truth, and love. See you later. Bye. Mwah.